Hey my friends, welcome to Construction Mastery. 2023 is the year you have to become chartered, right? Go for the chartership. RICS, CIOB, ICES, any civil engineers out there, RIBA, the Royal Institution of British Architects, like go for the chartership. And I know, for example, the RICS has a lot of stick and some people don't like it, but who cares? You're doing it for the process. You're doing it for the person that you become when you become chartered. It's not for the fame. It's not for the fortune that you're gonna get out of it. It's not for the applause, the pat on the back saying, well done, you're chartered, well done. It's about the process that you go through, the amount of knowledge that you gain and understanding that you have of the industry by going through a structured process, okay? And that really is what it is about. You can literally get years and years and years of acceleration in a small period of time, right? You can collapse what would take you possibly 5-10 years in a 2-year period, okay? That's game changing. So do it, and it drives your process. It drives how fast you can go, how far you can go as well. And it shows that you're committed, because in the industry, when it shows that you're enthusiastic and you're committed, people are gonna listen to you, they're gonna love you, they're gonna respect you, right? And when they see that you're willing to develop and grow, right, and bring back what you're learning into the industry to help that project, it's gonna benefit everybody. Then you're gonna influence the people below you. They're gonna see you as a role model, right? And you're gonna tell them the same thing that I'm probably telling you guys, is that it's really important to become chartered. Not just for the sake of it, not for the pay rise, not for the fame, not for the fortune, not for the pats on the back and the applause and well dones, but for the person that you become, for the person that shows that you're really committed to where you're going. You're taking your career seriously. That's the reason why you need to do it. And 2023 is the year that you need to become chartered, right? So if you're on the fence, just do it. Submit the documents, whatever you need to submit, enroll in the process, do it as soon as possible, go find the people who you need to contact in the industry and go get it done. Don't waste any other time. Don't let your mind change what you're thinking, right? Go ahead and go for the chartership. It will be one of the best decisions you make, right? And there's some reasons. I can only talk about the RICS because that's what I am. I'm also APMP qualified, but I think specifically the RICS. And APMP is another one. If you want to go for that, definitely go for it. But the RICS, I love the RICS process, and I know a lot of people don't, but hear me out on this one. The final interview is basically an articulation statement. How well can you talk? How well can you give advice? How well can you carry yourself, okay? When you go to meetings, when you're meeting subcontractors, when you're on site, wherever you are in your career in the industry, you need to carry yourself really well. When you can give advice to a very good level and back up the advice that you're giving with reasons, with examples, with case studies, with real life experiences that you've been on, saying that this is better than this because of X, Y, and Z, and I've backed it up with everything I'm telling you, right? You're gonna persuade a lot more people. You're gonna get a lot more people on your side. You're gonna be more influential. You're gonna have more courage and more confidence. And when you get better at giving advice, and the more advice you give, right, the better you will eventually get. But you've got to refine that process. And the RICS interview is essentially people throwing questions at you, which is real life, it's going to happen, and you're answering. And the depth of your knowledge really shows off in the RICS interview, right? And you need to make sure you're not cheating yourself and saying you think you know things when you don't actually know things. And that's a really big misconception that I've seen in the industry. People are studying at a very average rate, and yes, some of them do pass the RICS, but they struggle later and they don't get to where they want to, and they can't conduct meetings, they can't influence projects, they don't bring back the value that they need to. So you have to do it properly. If you're gonna go for it, you gotta do it properly, right? And there's very few people that do it as good as it possibly could be, okay? And I'm talking about reaching a higher capacity and pushing yourself. It's like, let's say you're running a marathon, right? And you've got this vision and goal, and you said, all right, I'm gonna do it in 3.5 hours. Let's say it's your first marathon, you wanna do it in under 4 hours, but you aim 3.5 hours, okay? You're gonna train very differently if you're gonna aim for 3.5 hours versus if you're aiming for 5 hours. All right, it's going to be very different training. You're going to train more with passion, enthusiasm, you're going to get a coach, you're probably going to join a running club, you're going to check the nutrition, you're going to research, you're going to do a lot of things differently if you're training like this. But the point I'm trying to make is you need pace setters, because if you don't know what 3.5 marathon is like, and when you run a 10K, you have to know how fast you have to run a 10K or a 5K to be able to run a marathon at that pace. So you need pace setters, right? And pace setters are people that are going to push you, essentially. And that's like having coaches as well. They're going to push you. They're going to say, you're doing this wrong, you're too slow. If you want to reach 3.5, you've got to do it this way. If you want to reach 5 hours, you can do it the way you're doing it, okay? It's very, very different. So that's why like mentors and guidance and experts in the industry are very, very important to get you there effectively, efficiently, and better than you would have imagined. Yeah, this is a seriously really important point, right? It's pace setters. Think about the marathon. Find your own pace setters. So that is the RSS final interview. Then if you break that down, right, the case study is essentially a problem that you've seen in the industry, in your project, that you've solved, right? And you've worked with a team and you articulated and you analyzed how you solved that problem. The aim of construction is to find as many problems as you possibly can and solve as many problems as you possibly can. That's it, right? You go search for problems. You become a problem searcher, and then you build the skills and capabilities you need, and you become a solution seeker. Right, then you find solutions, okay? When you look for problems, it's very different to solving them, right? You can look for problems and not do anything about it, and that's what a lot of people do. They see lots of things happening, but they don't have the energy, the enthusiasm, the know-how, the knowledge to be able to do that. They don't have the mindset to be able to do that. Once you can do that, then you can move to solution seeking, right? And you solve problems, you get a higher pay, you enjoy what you do more, you're able to give better advice, etc. So the case study is all about a problem and how you solved it, and you're describing that problem, you're analyzing the problem, you're seeing how you've solved that problem, okay? And inside our programs, we teach you how to do this basically better than anyone else has ever thought about it or done it. So that's one of the reasons why. And then the other process is the diary. So you've got to fill in a day-to-day diary, but most people are like, it's a waste of time, no point doing that. But actually, if you turn your diary into a journal and do it the way we want you to do it, you think totally different about it. You have to document your learning process with writing about what you've learned, how you'd have done it differently. You have to analyze it, and you're building up your analysis skills when you're documenting your process. So now it's no longer just about writing, I did this today or I did this today, and just doing it because you have to do it. There's now a need and a purpose behind it. And when you put all of these individual components together, the RSS final interview, all the mock preparation you go through, plus the case study and how you have to articulate your experience, and then plus the documentation of the diary and how you put it all together, it's magical. But you have to do it the correct way, and I don't think many people know how to do it the correct way. Okay, so that's why I absolutely love the RICS process. Okay, and another point to mention is that if I was to ever create a curriculum, right, ever create something which would get people to a really high place really far, it would probably be very close to the RICS process, the correct way of doing it, right? And that says a lot about the RICS and what it can be used for if done correctly, right? And it's really important to know the correct way, because there's many different ways that you can pass. Just like there's many different routes to success. Some people get there in 20 years, some people can do it in 2 or 3 years, some people can do it in 5 years, right? There's different paths to get there. Some people go effectively, some people go the long route, some people take the short route. Many different ways, and it's the same as the RICS process. There's loads of different ways of doing it. Yes, it's structured into a course where people just say, you've got to do it this, then you do this, then you do this, then you do this. But there's a lot behind each of those methods that allow you to do it at a much better pace, faster pace, more effectively, etc. right? Then I want to talk about the reasons why you should do this now, okay? Firstly, the construction industry is about to explode, right? The amount of wealth created in the world in the next 5-10 years is going to be astronomical. There's going to be building projects going up left, right, and center everywhere. It's something like 15.5 trillion is going to be spent before 2030, right? We're in 2023 now. By 2030, in the next 7 years, 15.5 trillion is going to be spent. What's happening now is that you can be consulting on projects worldwide. So if you can build yourself up to get to a position of consulting or something similar to that, right, you can be working on different projects around the world, which is where things are moving slowly, but they're moving in that direction. So you can get paid very handsomely for working very little, but because you've got the knowledge and skills and capabilities and you're able to advise really well and articulate really well and persuade really well, you can literally turn projects around, and you have the ability to do that, and you can influence projects. And then you can get any project you possibly want in your career, okay? Then you can direct your career to where you want to take it, not where your company is going to put you or other people are going to put you in the career. And now that things are becoming decentralized, you can work from anywhere in the world, etc. And the RICS, of course, is global. So you get the RSS qualification, you can work worldwide, you can open your own company, which is absolutely amazing. You can grow that company to the next level, but you need those foundation skills and you need to know the knowledge and capabilities to be able to do that. Right, the other absolutely amazing reason to do this now and take the RSS now, or even the CIOB or the ICES or the REBA or the for civil engineers or the APMP, any of these, anything inside your career or your industry where you are at the moment, make sure you find a way to develop and grow, okay? So the next point is that there is a really, really big need for world-class surveyors, world-class project managers, world-class architects, world-class engineers, world-class building surveyors. There's a very, very high demand for them and there's a very low supply of them. So if you want to reach world-class, or up here where it's very rare and the air is very thin up here, okay, you've got to do a lot of things. You've got to put in the work, you've got to be curious, you've got to be learning constantly all the time, you've got to be seeing how other people are doing it, learning from experts. Everything we kind of teach you inside of our platforms, right? But there is a real need for world-class surveyors. So become one and you'll be paid enormously. You can get from very average to world-class in 3 or 4 years, right? 3 or 4 or 5 years. That's legit, but that's up to you. Commit and you can get there. If you don't, I can't hold your hand and say, this is directly what I want you to do. So it's up to you to make that change and see that it is possible. The other point is that chartered professionals get paid a lot more. So the average increase in wage is 20,000. That's according to the RICS. 20,000 increase you get in your wage for becoming chartered. That's amazing, right? Me personally, I was offered 40,000 more. Okay, 40,000 more, and I had offers, not just one, of that caliber as soon as I got chartered. So it's absolutely possible to close to double your wage or earn a crazy amount more. And why would you not want to do that? If you can get chartered in 2 or 3 years, right, it would change absolutely everything for you. So these are some of the really big reasons why I believe 2023 is the year that you should be going for your chartership. Doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing in your career, however old you are, get it going, enroll now, do what you can. Even if you don't care about the RSS or if you don't care about the qualification you get at the end, it's not about that. It's about the person that you become, right? It's about the skills, the capabilities, the knowledge, the process of going from here to there. You will become better, even if it's a small percentage. Even if you don't do it properly and you still pass. Even if you don't do it properly and you don't pass, you've still gained, you've still grown, okay? You're still gonna learn from your mistakes and move on and correct yourself and progress. And that is what we want. And if you're not interested in the RSS, I suggest you do it, but there's another course that we've got, it's called Construction Pro. Check that out as well. That's amazing. That's got, like, we show you how to, again, 10x your everything, right? And get you to really high places without needing the RSS chartership. But we do see that there's a structure behind the RSS that if you can't push yourself, that maybe you should go for the RSS. But nonetheless, if you don't like it, that is equally as good. So the pick is yours. But if you've got any questions, drop me an email. I hope this video is really helpful to you guys and it made sense and you kind of understand and you've got that energy now to change things and push things and like have that energy to grow. So take that next step, even if it's a very small step. It's going to be better than not doing any step at all. So hope that video helps. Catch you in another one. Stay safe and hope you have an amazing week and a month and a year. Catch you guys soon. Bye.